Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have now probably the last part on Joseph Tavares PCM and instrument cluster. It's actually good news for his instrument cluster. I want to give you just a short uh, turnaround in the office. A couple of the subscribers asking me about this. This is the last time I went to Costa Rica. I got this. It's pura vida, means pure life from Costa Rica. That's a saying that we have. And then I hang some of my certificates in there with the scarf my dad gave me also last time I went to Costa Rica. I'm from Costa Rica for those who doesn't know. All right, going back into the video, I want to. All right, guys, before we proceed into the testing and the connections, I got the scanner ready to go. In this case, I'm going to use the IM 608 from Hotel. Reason I'm doing that is because I want to select the pits faster. For IDS, for the programming is all I really need it for, but truly for diagnostics, unless you're in the vehicle, for the vehicle it's pretty good. But for here, it's pretty slow to select PIDs, and the way it works, I just honestly don't like it. All right, but I want to share with you as far as the pinouts. These are the connectors on the instrument cluster. I'm going to keep it on the screen. This is connector C236 is going to be the one next to the RPM, and then C237 is the one next to the miles per hour uh, gauge. They put this connector, and I check in Identifix and then Protoman and all that they all have the same thing. It's a mistake because on this instrument cluster for this year, the C236 it actually looks like the same in the 1999, which is like this. It's still a 20 pin connector, but as you can see here, we got 1, 2, and 11 and 12 are bigger pins than the rest. Not like they show here that all the pins are the same and they're in the straight line like the C237. In the other hand, that it is indeed a 22 pin like they say there, and it's all straight, all the same side. All right, so that's the only reason I have the outer connector in here. Again, let me just stop 1 second the video. Well, or in the actual video here, you can see the whole printout. You're gonna stop the video if you need it. And this is again the next connector. And in the next connector on the C236, we got all pretty much the powers and grounds I need in order to connect in here. So we got a ground, we got a power hot and run in the start. That means it's always on as long as you put the ignition. Then we have number 10 as power hot all the time. That will be like the keep alive memory. And then we had 11, a power hot and run, which is ignition, right? The rest, I don't really need anything, not for the testing that I will do on a cluster. On the next connector, C237, we have the SPC communications, which is very common, the same thing as in 1999, all the way up to 2003, I think, or 2002, is pins 1 and 2. What it changes the actual anti-theft paths location, and this one is in pins 14 and 15. And I use also pins 22 just to make sure that all the balls are working and so on. The rest I can check with the self-test if everything works, and I know that works. So we'll see now because this was a very intricate repair. I want to show you, for those that haven't seen the part before, how this cluster was. When he sent this cluster to me, this is the way I receive it. It was the first thing that I noticed. I always check every single component before I connect it to any of my equipment. So I saw a little bit of corrosion there. I'm like, well, that's not too abnormal. Sometimes when they clean the car or something like that, there's a little water that can get in there, but all right, let's keep going. I see the other connector, the same thing. I'm like, and then I open it up and it's just too much. So I call him and I explain him exactly what you guys can see in this one as well, that it was a lot of damage in this instrument cluster. And he said, Mike, I cannot find that instrument cluster. Can you fix it? I'm like, I will try my best. I do have some other clusters that I always buy for parts that can no longer be uh, found, or sometimes to repair one and then sell for a customer if it's something that I can be repaired, right? So in this case, I end up replacing most of the components you can see here because as you can see, I mean, look at this. I know the picture will not show completely because it gets a little too far in, but you know, as they destroy components everywhere. I mean, too much, but you'll see how this come out because it looks like brand new. I mean, I clean every single component, even the display board that I was referring on the other video that was also corroded. You can see here all corrosion around. I mean, it's just everywhere, right? But now this is the end result. As you can see, this doesn't even look like what we had in the other picture, right? So I took the time to completely clean ultrasound. I used deoxide too and let it sit in there to suck it into the board, then dry it up in the hot plate to dry completely because that's very important, and then clean the board 100%. I mean, I hope that I think the picture shows what a big difference this is the back of that board. I mean, if I show you this and I tell you this is a brand new board, I know that most people will like, yeah, sure, I completely agree, right? All right, so and I cleaned the same thing, the display completely good, and then also the face of the instrument cluster. This is just the back one. It's already installed on the same case, and then now it's ready to be used, right? So I don't think I need anything else on the screen recording, right? So we can proceed. Well, I can probably just get ready with, let me think. I'm gonna turn powers on and all here because my goal is after I know that I'm going to have to program the keys because we need to see what we got or not. If it has two keys program, I can add a key. On these 2000 models for F150, if you have two keys saved on the computer, or in this case, the instrument cluster, then you can add a key. If you have only one saved, you have to erase all the keys and then program the keys. Don't even try to add keys because it's not going to work. So you need to erase and then program. All right, so we have this going. Power is applied. I will just turn the full probe ready to go because I will be using it for testing of the computer running after everything is indeed working. So let me just, okay, that is good. And I can put one of the pictures as a background, kind of like that. It looks perfect, kind of like that, right? Okay, so I'm just going to leave that in there. I probably just switch the cameras for what we're doing. Right, let me turn all this on. Things that you also immediately would know into any cluster that has problems on communications or a cluster that doesn't work, and it will not do that first test sweep that you just saw before in here, and it will not give you the mileage. I'm going to turn this off so you guys can see probably a little better like that, right? Less glare in there. I don't need a light either. All right, so we have computer on, we have the instrument cluster on. So let me go into the diagnostics. Not sure how much you will be able to see from there. Let me just see what you guys can or not see. I'm using a little tripod, so yeah, I think you guys might be able to see a little bit in there. I mean, it's not really that important of, uh, actually I can go to history. I think I used 2000. Let me just make sure 94751. Yes. So let me just use the history and then go to diagnostics like that. I don't have to enter the VIN number because since this is not a complete system with any aftermarket scanner that you use, it would not most likely will not read the VIN. If you use the IDS, it will read it from the PCM. Okay, so we will go over to diagnostics, control unit, instrument cluster. Um, let's read the data we have here. And I'm going to select some of the pits, and this is what is very easy and fast to do on here. So we can see battery voltage if we want. My main concerns in here, let me put my glasses on. Ignition is in the wrong position, which is good. We got a master key present. Minimum number of keys required. Two numbers of keys to start in the module. One. Okay. All right, guys. So we know that we only have one key stored. So I'm going to erase the keys because this is exactly, we will not be able to start the car like this. Paths, system module. Let me see what is that. PCM ID store. It is a store. PCM verify. Okay. No. Yes. Two. No. Yes. One. I don't know what that is. Security access is time. Spare key is enabled. Vehicle status disabled. This is what I was looking for. And vehicle security is access is disabled. So I can show those the selected ones. And we can see these are the most important ones. The vehicle status and the vehicle security access denied. Why is denied? Because it's only one key stored. We need to have two keys stored for this car to start. So what we need to do, and I'm going to have to stop the video because I gotta get access. So we're going to go to, uh, let me see if it's an active test. I can see without this. Let me see. Anti-theft, enable, disable. No, this is not what I want. Is it on the PCM? I don't think so. Active test. Let's see if it's in the PCM, even though it's not because the pads is on the instrument cluster. But sometimes you need to go through the PCM in order to do the pad access, and that will connect to everything. Let me just make sure I'm. No, it's not here either. Equivalent live data. Hmm. Raise active test. Did I miss something in here that I didn't see it? Anti-theft location, enable, transmit command. Transmit enough. No, because this is for this. Hot functions. Let me see. Oh, IMO keys right here. Paths anti-theft system functions. So it is outside on on this one since this is the IMO 608. So requires parameter reset after installation of the new PCM. Okay. Current location instrument cluster. That is correct. Enter the passive system security. This procedure will take 10 minutes. All right. So we need to wait for 10 minutes. I'm going to stop the video for a while here. All right, guys, just to change the angle a little bit, as you can see, we have gain security access. So let me put that there. Turn the lamp on in here. So after we gain security access, this is going to be the same on everything. All right, the first thing that I want to do is ignition code, key code erase. Customer, yes. Customer, let me see 1 second. Ignition, key code erase, program additional key, customers pay. Erase all store key codes and requires that two keys be programmed before the engine will operate. You will need two keys to start a car. And now as you can see, I got a complete set with the remote and everything ready to go. Make sure that when you get this key for this one specifically is the FC4. There is a different type of key. Let me show you that before we proceed. let's say, like the escape or so, they use this one. This is called H78. That's the H72. All right. Okay, we're gonna click in here. Yes. All known keys has been erased. You must now program a minimum of 2 keys. Turn the ignition to the key to the off position for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to turn the ignition at least for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. Turn it off. We're going to change the key in the ignition for the other one. And we're going to set this again 1, 2, 3. And we want to see that the test light goes off. And it seems like everything is off. I think like everything is good. It says cycle key into the ignition off to run for at least 3 seconds. 2 keys are now programmed. Click OK. We're going to get out of here. And we're going to go into diagnostics. As you can see now, the cluster came back into seeing the mileage. We're going to select the control unit. Let's go over to the instrument cluster and see if we now have 2 keys again. Continuous go, no. When I saw the 2, I'm like, perfect. Numbers of keys stored in the module 0. How is that possible? Well, it shows that this is a master key. Minimum numbers of key required. It still shows the vehicle enabled status as disabled. Let me take the key off of here. Going to turn the ignition off. Put the other key. Turn the ignition off. Let's see if the theft light goes off as it should. This process sometimes is tricky. Well, it shows us present. Let me go back so we can read that information indeed coming from the instrument cluster. So, like data, numbers of keys stored in the module 1. Numbers of keys stores 1. Why is it still showing me that? And the theft light is on. Mm. We're trying the other key. See, the theft light goes off with this one. Okay, now number of key stores in the module 2. Enable vehicle is enable. So let's try it down now because I probably just needed to put the keys back again. Oh, not sure why, but that is good. All right, so all right, guys, I got now the full pro ready to go. We're gonna go over to 4, and for this one I can select escape. It's the same thing with the paths internal, no matter what the way I have this connected. It's the same thing. I need to change this to 51. Click in here. We're going to turn the ignition on. I can bring this down in here. Not that it changed. I think it will change much, but all right, we got injection. Excellent. All right, guys, we got injection as you can see, and we got coils 100%. And this is great. That's all I needed to see, guys. This is 100% repair. We got RPM, as you can see in the instrument cluster, and we got coil activations, and we got injector activations. So, guys, this is 100% repair. I'm very happy. I'm very happy for him as well. All right, Joseph, this is your system now working, fully working. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to turn the ignition off just to make sure the other key which the one I have in there right now is not the one that is cut, so it's the one I programmed. So let me turn this ignition off. We're going to take this key, I mean again, the one with nothing in there, and we're going to put his original key here. We're going to set the ignition back on. That light went off, which is excellent. And we can, well, I don't have to point to there, but you can see the injector activation in there immediately. So perfect. So both keys are working. Everything is 100% ready to go. Joseph, I will be contacting you shortly to collect payment and give you the good news, and then send this your way first thing Monday morning. I'm very, very happy. This is a good repair and this is a good test. Again, guys, if you have computers that you need to repair, instrument cluster, try to be as clear as possible with me. I'm here to help you. There is not necessarily lies, let's say, but hidden information is not just, it's not going to help you. It's actually going to make things a little harder for me. And I'm always very careful with my connections and my equipment before I plug anything that I don't know. So, and that's why, I open computers, I open clusters before I plug that in to make sure they're clean and not a rust and it's not going to burn my equipment. But yeah, this is very good news. I am very happy. As you can see, everything is now working. All right, let me turn the actual computer off. I want to do a sweep test now that I have here before I go and finish the video. I can do an active test on the instrument cluster, and this is going to be first. Let's do all warning lamps. Let me see. I guess select all and then see. And this is the test. All right, on, off, on. Perfect. That means it's in full control. Let me now do. Actually, I don't really need to do a sweep test because you can see that it's doing it 100%. But let's do a segments on. Uh, Press cancel monitor. Let me see. Select all. Okay. And this is programming to, I'm not sure actually what this is doing. Oh yeah, this is, as you can see, it's changing in there. It changes positions on the segments. You see how it's doing that? This is just a test for the actual display. So the display is working 100% as well. What else we can do here? All segments. Speedometer gauge control indicator. Let me see this. Yes, right there. We have a fully working speedometer, as you guys can see. And then we can decrease it perfectly. So we got full control and full working instrument cluster. Check gauges indicator, engine coolant temperature indicator control. Let me see that one. What is the temperature on this side? So, yep, we can see that it's indeed increasing. This is very nice from Ford and Hotel that we can actually check every single gauge. Yeah, all I'm doing is in here decrease and increase, decrease and increase, and that's it, right? Let's do this on the video because this is also for his records and my records. So let me see what else. Fuel gauge indicator control. So let's do the same thing. And a fuel gauge on this other side. So we're gonna do fuel gauge. Very happy. I'm in increasing. Now I'm going to go to decrease. Full control. As you guys can see, everything is working perfectly. Okay, I'm going to get out. We got also oil indicator, oil pressure gauge control. We're going to do the same thing. And we can increase the oil gauge, as you guys can see there. Perfect. It's working really good. Now it's going down. I'm just going to go down a little bit and then just click escape. As you can see, every time you click escape, it does a sweep in all. Let me see what order we can check. Speedometer. And it looks like those are the only ones that I check that I can check. All segments off. Check gauges, indicators. Then that's just going to do a full sweep. Let me just do one click in here. So let me do off and on. Not sure. Oh, that is just for the oil indicator. So that's not doing anything. Let me see what else that I want to check. Fuel level indicator, we already did. Fuel gauge, fuel level, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't have a one for the boost control, which I would really like to have, but it's not in here. So that's it. That's as much as I can do here. But I can definitely see that everything is working as is supposed to. I am very happy with this repair. I hope that Joseph it is as well, because now he's going to be able to, again, if he spoke to me, he said that he replaced already harnesses and battery harnesses, and everything is ready to go for the computer and for the cluster. So this is 100% repair. I hope that you guys like this. I know that I didn't check much on the instrument cluster, but believe me, that was what you can see, clean up, replace some of the components, and for these old clusters, is sometimes is you can get, sometimes you have to use from a donor board. It's the only way. I was very truthful and clear with him, and I said that this instrument cluster I can give no warranty because of the way it was. That I will try my best to repair it, and you guys can see that I did 100% the repair. All right, guys, I don't want to take more of your time. I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.